A rosy-faced maid servant opened the door and smiled as she took the letter which she offered. Which he offered. She asked him to wait in the hall. So here, a maid servant, she opens up the entrance, she opens up the gate, and she tells Nat to wait at the hall. The house seemed to swarm with boys. That means many boys have been there, like swarming insects, because the boys, they have been very little and very innocent in their mind, in their attitude. So that is why this word has been used, that the house seemed to swarm with the boys. That means many boys have been there, number of boys have been there, and they have been swarming together. They have been staying together, boys of all sizes. Suddenly a boy with a book under his arm came to greet the newcomer. Greet means welcome. So a new boy, a boy that Nat Blake has not known because he is new here, he comes across a boy who has a book under his arm, and he comes to welcome Nat. Haven't you seen Aunt Jo? He asked. That boy with a book under his arm, he asks Nat if he has seen Aunt Jo. I haven't seen anybody, I am waiting. Nat tells the truth that he has been waiting there at the hall for the aunt to see him. Did Uncle Laurie send you? Asked the boy, whose name was Demi. So now we come across the name of the boy who has a book under his arm, and the name that was revealed is Demi. Mr. Lawrence did. Oh, we call him Uncle Laurie. He always sends nice boys here. So Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence, the person who has sent Nat to that place, to Plumfield Estate School, is the person called by Demi as Uncle Laurie. So it shows the kind of love even among the boys that comes through nicknaming a person. They call the person, that is Mr. Lawrence, as Uncle Laurie. Nat was happy to hear the remark. Remark means opinion. What was the remark? The remark was about not only about Mr. Lawrence but also about Nat, because he has been termed, or he has been defined as one of the nicest boys by Demi himself. So this is my new boy. I am glad to see you, my dear, and I hope you will be happy here, said the lady whom Nat had been waiting to see. So Aunt Jo, she comes and she meets Nat, and she also feels very glad to come about or to know about Nat. The lady had a kind motherly look. She drew him to her and said, I am Mother Wade. The gentleman is Father Wade, and these are the little two Wades. Come here, boys, and see Nat. So what happens here is that the lady introduces herself to the other boys and to the boy also. The boy, that is Nat, he comes across the introduction of that lady, that is Aunt Jo, as Mother Wade, and he also come across to know that the person that he met at the beginning, at the gate, at the entrance, the person for till now on whom we have been calling, or we have been presuming as the watchman, is not the watchman but the husband of Mother Wade, that is Father Wade, who is also in charge of that house. That is Professor Wade. If we go through the text at the beginning, we know that is Professor Wade to be known across. The two boys, Rob and Teddy, merrily grinned at him. Grin means to smile at. To smile at with the teeth, showing your teeth. To smile, showing your teeth. That is the meaning of grinning. But Mr. Wade shook hands and, pointing to a low chair near the fire, said warmly, There, my dear son, sit down there and dry your wet feet at once. So, as we come across him in the beginning also, the same thing is being revealed here. For the first time, we come across the name of the two boys that belong to Mr. and Mrs. Wade, that is Rob and Teddy. We also come across to know the kind nature of Mr. Wade, that is Father Wade once again, because he instructs the boy, he calls him as dear son, and he instructs him to sit down there, and also that he needs or he requires to dry his wet feet at immediate pace, at as quickly as possible. When Nat went to school on Monday morning, he trembled inwardly. Tremble means to shiver, to quake, kepe otha. Because this is the first time he is going to school, maybe he is a bit tense. It's a new place, it's a new school, so obviously tension and worry will be within himself. He is a young kid. It's difficult for an orphan to gel with a new family all of a sudden. You have to give it some time. And because of that, the tension, the inner tension was there for Nat. He felt very afraid at the beginning. For he was afraid that everyone would come to know how ignorant he was. So the main part regarding to that tension or to that trembling is not only about the way he will be staying there, but also that he was a bit self-conscious. Nat was a bit self-conscious. He was conscious that maybe the boys who have been staying here for such a long time is more knowledgeable than Nat himself. And if they come to know about the ignorance of him, if they come across the less knowledgeable proximity of Nat, then maybe they will also laugh at him, they will also poke fun at him. Mr. Veer gave him a seat in the deep window so that no one could hear or see the mistakes he made. So once again, another time, we come across here the instance from Mr. Veer's kindness, his tender nature, because he, being a mature person, he being a very polite person, knows how does the boy is feeling, how the boy is feeling coming there, and that is why to give him some space, to make him come out of the jeopardy, the tension, he makes it sure that the boy stays in his zone himself. That is why he has given a very safe seat that is near the window. He was very grateful to Mr. Veer for that. He worked diligently. Sorry, those are two lines. So because of that thing that Mr. Veer understood the kind of problem, the kind of sensitivity that Nat will be going through, he was very grateful to Mr. Veer because he understood that Nat will be very tensed, he'll be very worried. He needs some time to rectify himself, and because of granting that time, he was very grateful to Mr. Veer, that is Father Veer. Also, because of that motivation, because of that extra care being taken, or because of that belief by Father Veer on him, he started working diligently, that is industriously. He started working, he started giving more time, he started working hard. One day Father Veer called Nat and said him, "Don't work so hard, my dear, there is enough time, you will tire yourself out." So because Nat knows that he is a bit ignorant, maybe he is not as strong as the other boys there, he has to catch up very fast with them, and that is why he has been working very hard. Also because he himself is a very young and very obedient, very loyal boy himself, Nat has this inclination towards Father Veer that this teacher, my mentor, he has given me, or he has put a firm belief on me, that he believes on me. So it is my duty that I have to repay this faith with fruitful results. And to produce that result, he has to work hard. That is why he started working harder. And this working harder catches the attention of Father Veer. And once again, Father Veer, with his natural kindness, natural tenderness, natural simplicity, comes to rescue Nat in this juncture. And what is that? That he assures him that Nat has enough time to prove himself, Nat will have enough time to rectify himself. And if he uses that time, he will not have to push himself so much hard, and pushing himself so much harder will make him tired, will make him more tensed.